Hello Booktube! I'm starting a new Booktube channel and I thought I'll do the Booktube Newbie tag that's going around. And I've already done this once, so this is the second time I'm doing it. And I've got my little piece of paper with all the questions. And, well, this is it. I'm going to start. Question 1. Why did you start this channel? Well, I already started another Booktube channel in German, and it's so much fun that I thought I'll double the fun and do 2 channels, one in English, one in German. And the reason being that whenever I film something for the German channel, I'm planning it out in my head in English, and I always wish I wish I could do this in English, so now I'm doing it. Question number 2. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? Well, I was born and bred in Germany and I read a lot of German books, so I will be discussing English books that I read as well as German books that I read, regardless of whether they've been translated into English or not. So I thought it might be interesting for people who can read German, who can understand German, or who are interested in learning some German, who might want to, in the future, read German books. So if you're interested in the German language and interested in reading German books, this might be the channel for you. I will be trying to grade the German books that I read that are not available in English translation in order of how difficult they are language-wise, vocabulary-wise, so that if you're looking for an easy German read, I will be telling you this is an easy book to read with easy vocabulary, or this is a more advanced book to read, and so on. I also thought I could maybe sometimes teach you some vocabulary. Or, as my channel name suggests, Miss Emigration, I'm a semi-professional immigrant. I've emigrated 3 times and repatriated to Germany once. So I know a little bit about emigration and I might tell you some story time sometimes. Question number 3. What are you most excited for about this new channel? Well, obviously I like speaking English and I hope my English is not that bad or my accent is not too bad. And I quite like connecting with people. And having a German channel, I'm already connecting with German people, but the percentage of YouTube viewers who watch Booktube in German is not that big. So there are a few booktubers in German or in Germany who are very, very big and have a lot of audience, but I don't count among them. I have a very low number of subscribers and I'm not on Bookstagram yet. I might do that at some point. So I'm missing out on all the people who check out YouTube via Bookstagram. And I do have a Twitter account, but I'm too old to understand how the hell Twitter works. So I'm sort of uploading a link to my Booktube videos, but that's about it. I don't communicate on Twitter, so, well, you get the message. I'm not very good at promoting myself at all. Question number 4. Why do you love reading? I love reading because when I read something, a story, the whole imagery, the whole story sort of comes alive in my head like a movie, and I can see what's happening in front of my inner eye, and it comes with sound and smells and tastes, and it's like I'm inside the story, experiencing it as I read it. And I don't see the letters on the page anymore. My eyes fly over it and I'm inside the story. And that experience is so much better than watching a movie where all the pictures have already been shot for you, or listening to a story or to an audiobook where all the voices have already been done for you and you can't imagine the voices yourself and you can't imagine the pictures yourself when you're watching a movie. And that's why I love reading. Where am I? Question number 5. What book or series got you into reading? I honestly have no idea. I started reading at such an early age that I honestly cannot remember which one was the book that started the whole thing. Question number 6. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? Oh, there's a few. First of all, where do you get your ideas? Before I made my very first video on my German booktube channel, it took me a full 2 weeks to decide what to do for my first video and to come up with an idea. And in the end, I did the newbie tag, but in German. But I was stumped. I knew I wanted to start my own channel, but I was sitting there thinking, like, should I do a book haul or should I do a review? Or with having no subscribers and no viewers yet, it was really hard to come up with a good idea. And on my German channel, I upload a video about once a week. And sometimes I sit there on the weekend and I want to upload a video on the Tuesday and I have no idea what I'm going to film yet. So I'd be really interested to know how you come up with your ideas. Question number 7. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Well, first of all, I'm incredibly busy and I have very little time to read. So most of my reading is done on my commute to and from work. But I have to admit that to work in the mornings, I often fall asleep. And so most of the reading really is done on my commute back after work. And that means I cannot read 14 books a month to have a reading month video and showing you such a stack of books. So I sometimes don't even read 5 books a month. Sometimes it's just 2. But I love doing other things with books as well. I like organizing them. I like buying them and putting them on my TBR to not be read for the next 5 years. I like spelling things with books. So I do bookish videos, but not always just reviews. The second thing is maybe continuity. I'm not sure if I always will be filming a few days before uploading as I do now. I might start, if I have some good ideas for videos, start filming 2 or 3 or 4 videos in one weekend and then upload them later, staggered. And I'm not sure if I'm able to always keep the timeline in my head of what's been said before in a video, what's been uploaded already and what's still to come. So if I messed that up, sorry. Question number 8. When did you start reading? I started reading as soon as I got my first picture books that had text in them. I hated not being able to know what the text means. So at a very early age, I started to climb on my dad's lap when he was reading the newspaper. And I asked him all the letters, like, what's this letter mean? What's that letter mean? And I loved all the letters that had angles, sharp angles. So N, M, V, A, Z. And my dad always had to tell me what the letters were, and from that I sort of puzzled it out myself. And very quickly started reading my picture books myself and started reading them to my younger brother as well. And my mum thought that I just knew them off by heart because I'd read them so many times, but it turned out I could actually read them and I could read when she was on the wrong page, and I could read it upside down as well. So yeah, as soon as I knew there was a thing called letters, I needed to know what they were, and that's how I started reading. Question number 9, where do you read? Oh, I've already answered that, sort of. Well, during my commute after work, I'm on a train for about an hour, and it stops about 1,000,000 times on the way. So I read for about an hour after work. I sometimes read on my lunch break when the weather is nice and I can sit outside. And at home, I've got a book sofa that is like my book reading spot. I don't read in bed at night because it doesn't calm me down. If I read in bed at night, I would just keep reading until 5 a.m. So I tend to watch TV in bed when I go to bed. But yeah, commute, sofa, and lunch break. Question number 10. What kind of books do you like to read? I like to read fantasy most, I think, because I like the concept of invented societies, invented magic systems, invented political systems, invented plants, invented animals. I just like the possibility of all of that. For the same reason, I do read sci-fi, but not as much as fantasy. I also like contemporary and biographies, historical. Yeah, that's about it. I give most things a try apart from romance. Romance is just not my thing at all. And really, really hardcore horror. I used to collect Stephen King novels, all his horror novels, and when I was younger, I had no trouble sleeping after that. But nowadays, I'm I'm a bit faint-hearted. That was all the questions, and well, if you'd like to check out my videos in the future, please subscribe and click on the bell to not miss my videos. And I would love it if you'd give me a thumbs up. That would really help my channel grow. Thank you very much, and see you later. Bye.